is up, ladies and gentlemen? Today, another very nice day for day trading. So many plays ripping face going vertical. I'm going to be mentioning all of them in this video, and I'm also going to be talking about GNS. You guys really like that stock. I'm going to be talking about potential price targets as well as what my continuing thesis on GNS as today made a really nice action and ended up breaking past that previous resistance, and it almost tested $2, which I mentioned on YouTube yesterday, right? So it's a really nice play. Hope people banking hard on GNS. Y'all really love GNS, and I like GNS too. So let's get into the video, guys, and I appreciate it if you like the video. Comment down below, guys. I read all the comments. So today, the first stock, ABVE, this one just ripping face vertical. It ran like 900% as I'm watching it right now. And after hours, this was a face ripper. I mentioned it around, I think it was like 69 cents, and then it halted up immediately after. And this stock was a very strong mover, not just because of the chart, but because of the volume. I said in my previous videos that volume is the #1 factor when it comes to day trading. Volume as well as price action and float. This stock, actually, the float was not low. This stock had like 50 million float around there, but if you remember from my previous video, the volume overrides the float if it's higher, right? If the volume is crazy, like this stock today had almost 500 million volume, which is insane. The float at that point doesn't even really matter. So again, everything I say in my video is not financial advice, guys. I'm just trying to give my opinions, but I just want to make that clear. So ABVE was face ripper. Shorts got really squeezed on this name, because what do you remember if you watch my videos, right? Because shorts, they like to do round trips, right, in my opinion. So basically, that's when a stock makes a big move up and then it starts to curl down. They like to short for those lower, the pushes crack below the support, right, and then catch that full nice round trip. Especially small caps, a lot of them do round trips. So ABVE, this one did not do that, and then after hours it just ended up squeezing, because if you remember from my previous video, I mentioned about extended hours. That's the biggest squeezes happen. Extended hours is basically pre-market or after hours, and in those time periods there's no halts, as well as not just that, but the tape is very thin. So if you get it only takes a little volume for something to skyrocket. I'm pretty sure you've seen it yourself. Pre-market, after hours, you see stocks ripping 100% in like a minute, and this happens pretty much almost every day. I've been in stocks for like 7 years now, and I see it almost every day. So yeah, ABV was a monster. I think honestly this stock's gonna go towards that 1000% gap percentage, but I would not be buying something at 1000% when it's up, right? Because I mentioned in the past that risk reward is key when it comes to day trading if you want to stay long in the long run, right? So that was ABV. The next stock on the list is Proc. This one I mentioned it at $1. It was like 2 days ago, and then I ended up ripping face 600%. So if you watch my previous video on the analysis on the stock, it's pretty much straightforward. The $1 psychological, as well as the shorts getting squeezed. And this stock also was a buyout, right? Pro kidney, and it had catalyst probably. So this stock, you really want to watch those pivots. Looking at it right now, Proc still looks nice on the 1 hour chart. If you use the extended time frame, you want to see over 550 for continuation. So Proc was a really good trade. And the next stock is KWM. This one was a losing trade idea. If you remember what I said, I don't just talk about the winning trade ideas, I also talk about the losing trade ideas, because I think that's the way to go, right? A lot of people on social media, they don't talk about the losing side of trading, which is the realistic aspect, right? So KWM, what I liked about this stock is that I actually saw the stock at 750, but I didn't mention it till I was waiting for that 10 pivot, because I like it when stock holds over 10. It's pretty much similar to when a stock goes over $1 and it holds, right? So I was watching that key area, and KWM actually got started, small position, and then at the ripping face after that 10 hold, it went to 13.21, which is a massive move. It's like $3 move. So if you use 1K shares, that's $3,000 in like 2 minutes. So KWM I saw the news really quick. I didn't read the full news, right, because it's like very quick. I just saw a headline. I saw $1 billion, and it reminded me of what was the stock on BMNR or SBET, like similar type of headline, right? And then I was watching it, especially similar price range as well. And the float on this was nice. It wasn't like 100, 200 million float. So it had everything. Even the tape was looking really bullish. I was watching the level 2, but then, instantly the stock failed to keep going higher, right? And then it ended up waking. And once I saw that double top, I pretty much knew that this was not really going to continue over the 15 level, right? That was the next price target. But I was mentioning that the dips would have been nice on the stock, because I also really like trading dips. That's one of my strategies. I have many strategies. If you watch my videos, dips is one of my favorite strategies, where after the stock makes a big move, buy those pullbacks, off the EMA or off the when people usually stop out. I like to scoop it up. But then this stock ended up not being able to hold after a dip, and then it just ended up downtrending. And once that level broke, which was, I think it was around like $8, it just looked really terrible. And that's when I knew. I said it on the stock twist. I said that this stock is looking, heavy. It wasn't looking good. It was like a turd. So this stock was unfortunate. I mean, once that happened, once it got to like $5, you already know it's not really gonna do anything. Just being realistic. So I ended up having to cut the loss, and I also saw that some other people had struggling with KWM as well. So this wasn't. I mean, it's happened to trading, guys. If you trade, you have to expect to have red trades every now and then. If it doesn't matter how long you trade, 20 years, you're gonna have red trades. No one wins 98, 100% of the time. You're gonna have losing trades. It's just part of the business, right? So I just move on. I don't even really think about it a lot. So that was KWM. Next one was I had someone asking questions about the language I use. This was on stock tweets, and it seems like a lot of other people also are curious about the lingo, or is it that the right word? So basically, if you trade small caps or if you trade in the market, there's like some vocabulary words that people use that may be confusing to newer people. So in total, there's like 100 words, but I definitely can't go over all of them in this video because it's gonna be way too long. So I'm just gonna go over what this person, he or she, wanted me to clarify. So this person said, when you say short trap, what does that mean? So it's really simple. I mean, if you see it in terms of a just perspective of a short seller, if you're shorting a stock at $5 and you want it, if you're selling a stock at $5 and you plan on buying it back, which is called covering at $4, so you have $1 profit. But what happens if a stock doesn't go under 5? What happens if it consolidates or rips past? What if it goes to 6, 7? Then you're underwater. You're trapped. That's what I mean. They're trapped once that stock holds over that level. So next word, thin name. This one I actually said many times every day, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned the meaning of it. So thin name is when a stock is basically, it takes a little volume for a stock to move up a lot, right? So for example, let's say in pre-market or after hours, a stock only has, let's say, 1,000 shares get bought of a stock, let's say a $5 stock, and it ends up moving a lot, right, to $6. So that's thin. Thick is the opposite of thin, where if a stock, let's say, even if you add, like, let's say 10,000 shares or 20,000 shares, and it doesn't really, it's like thick, it doesn't really move, right? And the price action on the tape as well as reflects it. So usually in thicker names, you're gonna see a lot of like bids and asks, and you're gonna see it's like very choppy price action. It's like pretty much like in a range compared to thin, where stocks rip and face. It like jumps up, for example, like 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm pretty sure you know what I'm saying, right? So if you watch the stocks ripping, so that's that. And this person also said holding a certain price. I said it a lot. So holding a price basically means that if a stock is holding over it, not just for a flashing, for a second, because I know people see, for example, I say holding $1. That doesn't mean if a stock goes over $1 and then instantly drops, that's not holding it, right? So this is the few factors I really want to see. First of all, the longer the time frame, the better. I said in the past. So rather than the second time frame or minute time frame, I want to see more. For example, 5 minute. That's really nice. 5 minutes, 10 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute holds, as well as not just that. This is a big key as well. Candlestick close over the price, because a lot of times what ends up happening is a stock wicks. They do a shooting star type of pattern, and then it just immediately goes down. So you really want to see those key confirmation, and those are just a few examples. Another example could be if it holds over a price point and then it makes another leg higher, like a squeeze type of setup, you know what I mean, like a micro pullback, and then it ends up ripping over the previous resistance. That's another one if you use supply demand. But I don't want to go too in depth with that. If you have any more questions, write down in the comments, guys, or any more questions on the lingo for the stock trading, right? Because I've been in stocks for a while, so I know a lot of words. So that was that. The next thing, BTCT, this one I mentioned it like a day ago. I mentioned that key hold. Again, if you saw this chart right now, it was consolidating for a long period of time, multi-day, and then rip and face after hours. You see, this is the thing with trading small caps, is that most of the time you see the biggest moves in extended hours, and I don't recommend, if you're a newer trader, to trade in after hours or pre-market, because it's very hard if you really don't know what you're looking for, right? Because these stocks tend to move very quickly, and you could end up taking bigger losses, or you could end up chasing, right? So the BTCT, this one is a Bitcoin play, right, I believe, and it's just rip and face. I said yesterday's video, you want to look for crypto stocks that make a big moves. Crypto's a really hot sector right now. You already know Bitcoin's breaking all-time highs, and as well as other similar stocks in the sector are ripping, like ST. What are some other ones? Like those Bitcoin treasury type of plays, right? So this was a really nice play, BTCT. Also keep an eye on like BTBT and all those other basket, right? Bitcoin. So next play that I have to mention is BTOG. This one I mentioned it. It was like around 25 cents, and then it ended up ripping face BTOG after hours. And you're looking at it right now, it ran all the way to 43 cents, so it's like a 79% gain. This was another like Bitcoin, I believe, type of stock. And this is a penny after that 25 psychological pivot held, and then the ripping face, really nice. So that's pretty much the stocks. And GNS, you already know, guys, you love GNS. So GNS today was a monster. I was watching it, I was really happy, for everybody that bullish on the stock, because this was a beautiful move today. So it ends up, in the beginning, I mentioned that 150 hold, which is key. After that broke, you didn't see a drop down. It starts to have stair-stepping type of action, where that's confirmation. That means actual buyers are present. It's not just like a fake trick, right? So you see a lot of people have not just interest in the stock, but shorts also getting squeezed probably on this name, because remember, the stock was 50 cents. I would mention it initially, and then it ended up ripping to $1.90 today, $1.92, almost hit 2+ actually, which was really nice. I said literally yesterday's video, if you watch it, you could check yourself, guys. I said once that what did I say? I said I think it was like 150. It's gonna reach like close to $2, and I was really optimistic about it when it was reaching towards 2. But then they had like a wick pattern, like a shooting star type of pattern, right? Which means that sellers are starting to step in, and it ended up actually pulling back to 150. But if you look at it right now, this is beautiful. Like the extended time frame I'm looking at right now. Look at the hourly chart, 1 hour chart. It's just beautiful, where how the previous resistance is holding as support. And I said this in the previous video, if you watch my videos, GNS. I think a lot of people are looking at the stock and have their different price targets, because I asked on Twitter and StockTwits, what's your price targets for GNS, because I want to see what people's opinions are. And I got a lot of responses in a short period of time. So this was the general data, where most people, they said that it was going to go for $2. So I think that's what most people's price targets are, which could have explained why once it got too close to $2, it started to pull back, right? Because if you know market makers and the limit sell orders, a lot of people seem to plan on selling over 2 maybe. But I had a lot of people also say they want to see $3, $5, $10. I think someone even said like $70. That's very interesting. So what's your price target on GNS? Write down in the comments, guys. I'm definitely going to continue to monitor the stock every day and keep you guys updated and make videos, because the CEOs, I said in every video I made about GNS almost, that they seem really smart. And I also said that they are going to keep releasing news. If you check the previous videos, and that's true, it truly did happen, where they're releasing news after news after news. Like, these people, they seem really serious. And again, I have no connection or sponsorship with GNS, because I know many YouTubers, they get paid actually, I think, right, to promote a stock and actually have ties with the company, and they talk to them. But I swear I don't have any sort of that connection or business with GNS, and I get nothing like that. So I'm just making it clear, because some people might think I keep talking about GNS, but it's just that I find it really interesting. It's a nice technical setup as well. You already know, guys, I'm a technical trader. I love the charts, and this is a beautiful chart right now. I think it could definitely hit 2+ in a short period of time, but I really hope that Roger or Kevin Malone doesn't do anything really bad where it tumbles back. But remember that time it flushed. But it's natural for a stock to have pullbacks, but I think the stock, again, a lot of people agree where it could hit 2+, right? So that was GNS. If you have any questions or you want me to elaborate more, write down in the comments, guys, and I'm really excited to see what it does in the coming weeks. So that was GNS. Some swing ideas I have. I have AREC. I mentioned that $1 today, and then it ended up ripping 15%. That's a nice gain. So this still looks good. The AREC is in a bullish sector. It's like a mineral play, and you already know, guys, $1 pivot. It look beautiful swing idea. Next one is TMC. You already know, guys. I don't know how to explain. I made so many videos on TMC. This is another stock like GNS people really love. It's in a really bullish sector. Look at this chart. It's like, so good. Beautiful. TMC. So that's the video, guys. I'm definitely trying to make the videos more concise, easier to understand, so I'm speaking slower. So if you still have any questions, leave down in the comments, guys. I'm just trying to help people, and I enjoy it. Seriously, I like piecing people, like the videos as well. So I'm gonna continue doing so, guys, and I hope you guys have a great night. And this month just started, guys. We still have many weeks to go, and I think it's gonna be a really nice month. So let's bang, guys.